This time at the Quick Speed Shop, how much did I spend restoring my 1980 Dodge W200? I can tell you, it's way too much. And you might be saying, once you watch this video, are you out of your mind? Well, yeah, pretty much, yeah. But it's sentimental attachment. And we'll do the story real fast, and then I got the facts and figures. They're in the truck. We'll get out of the window, we'll go in there, we'll look at them. But this right here is why restoring stuff costs so much money. And I didn't even do it right. This is just like rattle can restorations, and it costs way too much money. So let's walk around it and see where all the money went. Out of my pocket, that's where. Well, I'm in my 80 Dodge. Let's pull around back here out of the wind. I think today we'll do a how much did I spend on restoring this monstrosity video, because I couldn't believe it when I added it up. It was a lot. Come on, baby. It needs some tuning big time, but I haven't had time to do that. Power steering is absolutely atrocious. Terrible. Oh, that sounds great. It's gonna work. Oh, easy now. Shut it off. All right, for those of you that are new to the channel or first time you're seeing this video, this is a 1980 Dodge W200, which means 3/4 ton, 4x4, long box step side truck with not even 54,000 miles on it. Now, I have restored most of it, and we'll go over all the facts and figures here in a second, but essentially it is a patina restoration, mostly original paint, some replacement rear fenders, but original box, original doors, hood, fenders. It's got a replacement cab on it. It's got a donor chassis, brand new suspension, donor motor, different wheels. We'll go over the whole thing once I get to the price sheets, but here it is in all its glory. This thing does look pretty cool, but it was a lot of money. We're in the truck here, and I've got all my facts and figures. Just so you know, 2 pages worth of prices of what things cost. Hold on, I got an echo in here. Let me open the echo. Let's open up the slider to get rid of some of the echo back here. Oh, look at that. Less echo. So originally, this truck belonged to the county, and they used to plow at the county office park and the county nursing home and stuff like that from 1980 to about 1999, and they sold it in a county auction. And I guess I went to a dealer, and then my friend Marty bought it and took it to his property and used it off the road to plow his property, and parked it in the pine trees spring, summer, and fall, where it got really, 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 really rusty. So when I got the truck, I think it was even earlier than what I thought. I think maybe 2014. So let's say I've had it 10 years. And there wasn't any evidence on the windshield of it ever having a registration sticker on it. So I believe I am the first person that's actually registered this for the road. The county had probably county tags on it, but no registration on it, or, you know, not even, maybe they didn't even have county tags on it if they just used it strictly for the county. I don't know, but there was no evidence of ever having a sticker on the windshield. So I was the first one to legally register it as a personal vehicle in 2021. I think I put it on the road, and that took another 2.5 years to get it going. So I paid $350 for the truck originally. I bought a 75 W200 parts truck for the chassis, and then I bought a 1988 Dodge cab and chassis for the cab. And I also bought a 2000 Magnum 5.9 liter engine, which you saw there in the B-roll engine. So original truck $350. I paid $500 for the parts truck. I paid $300 for the cab, the 88 cab, and I paid another $200 for the takeout junkyard equivalency motor. So that's another $1,000 in parts, just parts trucks. So $1,350 in the original truck and all the parts trucks. And then I started buying parts for the engine, you know, all the gaskets, headers, all that stuff. Add all that stuff up. The headers are $200. The flywheel is $130. The intake manifold was a air gap style intake, but it was a cheapy knockoff off eBay. That was like $325. So just with the engine and stuff like that, I probably had another $600-700 in parts on the engine. Then I took the chassis to get sandblasted, the frame. I had to throw all the suspension away. All the suspension was rusted out junk. So I took the frame and I had it sandblasted, and I painted it with Eastwood paint and the rust encapsulator paint, but I used their metal etch first, and that bubbled through the paint. So I had to have it re-sandblasted. So I had having the frame sandblasted twice and then epoxy primered the second time at the sandblaster. I had $1,750 just in getting the frame sandblasted twice and epoxied the second time. I said the suspension was all rusted out. I bought a Rough Country 4-inch lift kit, 4 new leaf springs, shocks, all the bracketry and stuff. That was $1,050. And then it needed spring hangers in the back on the donor frame. The spring hangers are bad, so I bought new ATS spring hangers. They were $200. So now in the chassis, I've got I've got about $3,000 in the chassis, just blasting it, painting it, and putting new suspension on it. Then I bought all new brakes, brake lines, so I added another $500 in brake lines. So, and my one sheet here, I've run out of numbers, but essentially, my one sheet, I'm already up to $6,500. Then we go on to sheet number 2, which this was paint and catalytic exhaust system, steering parts, window seals, windshield. I had to put a new windshield in it and have the glass put back in the donor cab after I painted it. That was $450. I bought overload suspension, timber and suspension supports for the back. That was $350. Let's see some big ticket items on here. I had this is a plow truck. This is a Snow Commander. So, of course, I bought new Snow Commander graphics from Phoenix Graphics, the reflective stickers that go on the box, which I haven't installed yet. They were, I believe, $200. So the snow plow, it's got a Meyer 7.5-foot snow plower, was rusty. I had to have that sandblasted and primered. That was $600 to have that sandblasted and primered, and I haven't even finished that yet or painted it. So I'm going to have more money in that. Oh, you saw the wheels and tires. I put BF Goodrich mud trains, 255/85 R16, which is like a 33-inch tire. Those are $1,450 for the tires. And then I bought the spare tire behind my head as a retread with an original bar-style tire, or bar tread. That was another $150. So I've got $1,600 in tires. Then the white rims were Ford truck rims. I had sandblasted and powder coated. I've got $550 in having the rims sandblasted and powder coated. And then there's miscellaneous parts I had. My buddy Jordan cut me out a whole bunch of bracketry for the bumpers and stuff. That was $350. Like I said, the glass is $450. Some other things on here. The exhaust system, I got $350 in the exhaust system. For the pipes, I've got $200 in catalytic converters. I had to build a new steering setup to hook the 1980 column to a 1975 steering box. That was $275. So it all adds up. And that I spent $600 on the paint to paint the cab, which I needed. It was just enough paint. It was 2 quarts, just enough to paint the cab, not the rest of the truck, just the cab. That was $600 for paint to paint the cab. So I'm not even including like fuel lines, like spark plugs, like miscellaneous things. I bought a carburetor for $300 for it, a rebuilt Holley carburetor. That's $300. Like sending units and straps, miscellaneous hardware, like spray paint for undercarriage, the dashboard. About these seats are out of a Jeep, but like getting put new taillights in it, new headlights in it, all the lamps and all that stuff. Ballpark. What do you think the ballpark is? I'll tell you. I'm over $12,500 in parts and materials to put this truck together as you see it. Not painting the outside, not doing any body work. Well, I painted the cab because it was white, but not doing any body work. It's got the original fenders, hood, doors, and box sides, which would, if you wanted to restore this truck like nice, like a lot of people in the comments like, why didn't you take a little time to do the rest of the body work? I'd have $20,000 in this truck if I had to replace the fenders, replace the doors, find better box sides because they were pretty much trash. Like find better rear fenders. Rear fenders, they reproduce them. They're over $350 a piece. Basically every single piece of sheet metal would have to be replaced in the truck to restore it nice. And then to spend the amount of time to do the bodywork and paint, I'd have $20,000 in this truck if I wanted to do that. And guess what? Nope. $12,500 is way more than I ever wanted to spend on this truck. I thought it would be about $6,000, nope, out of control. And you see what it looks like. From the outside, it looks like a $3,000 beater Dodge truck that somebody's driving around. Now, granted, I know that it's all brand new underneath. It's all rust-proofed, like all new suspension, all new brakes, all new tires, steering, a used engine, but like all new parts in the gaskets and stuff in the engine, brand new exhaust system, brand new windshield. A lot of the stuff's been replaced, but a lot of it is still used. Like the rear axle's used, the front end, everything, a lot of the mechanical parts are used. And I'm not even done with it yet. You know what's got to happen now? Paint the door panels, get them in. I've got some wiring issues I got traced down. I got to tune the thing. It's out of tune real bad because I basically just got it started. I got to do that. I've got to finish the plow. I've got to weld some steel in the plow, paint the plow. That's going to be a couple $100 by the time I get done doing that. We can add easily $500 to the cost of where I'm at now. So I'm going to be $13,000 into the truck, when it's running and driving on the road, like dialed in, everything's finalized and done. $13,000 in a 1980 Dodge that I paid $350 for. Yikes. It's almost like I sent this thing off to Graveyard Cars and had Mark replace every single part of it with brand new and spent $200,000 on it. This is by far the most expensive vehicle I've ever built. My last full build that was a complete ground up restoration build from junk was my 1931 Model A Ford. I completely built that car from junk, and I only had $8,000 in it. $2,000 of which was the tires and the radiator. So $6,000 in the rest of the car. But by far that was the most expensive thing I'd ever built. Now don't get me wrong. I love this truck. I love how it looks. You don't see where I live. You don't see these trucks on the road at all. You'll see 81 to 93 trucks. You'll see 92, 93s around once in a while. You don't ever see the tin grill Dodges, 72 to 80. You don't ever see them. They all rotted away. 10 years ago, they rotted away. You don't see them on the road at all. I keep my eyes open, you don't see them. So this truck, in my mind, was worth it because it's such a rare truck now. It's got a local history. Like I said, it would belong to the local county. I kind of want to, once I get it going and get it finished, I want to kind of see if I can take it down to the county seat or whatever where it was and take it back to where it came from originally. I know they have a history office in there. I want to go in there and see if they got any pictures of, around the complex with this truck in it. I want to kind of do an unveil there. Everybody probably that would remember it is probably retired now because it was, gone 25 years ago is when they got rid of it. So there's probably not anybody that works there that would remember it. But I would still want to take it down there with the plow on it and be like, ta-da, here it is, the truck that came from here back in the day. They'll probably come out of the office and be like, what are you doing? Get in your brown truck and get the hell out of here. That would be hilarious. But I'll bring you guys along. We'll do a video down there when we debut it. When I get it all done, it'll be awesome. So to wrap up this video, I don't know why I started it. Just, I guess, to have a talk about, things costing. And I'm as cheap as they come. I'm tighter than a bark on a tree when it comes to, spending money on building cars and anything else. If I spend over $250 on anything, I don't like it. Which nowadays you can't buy nothing for $250 for restoring cars. I bought 4 pieces of Scotch-Brite to scuff my Studebaker truck. It was $9. All right, so everything, like all these YouTube guys, they're building these cars and they're doing like way nicer stuff. Like, oh, just throw in the, we got an LS here, we got the Sniper, they're, QE1, we got QE1 front suspension, QE renders. I'm like, I don't have $30,000 to buy parts for to build cars. I don't. This bankrupted me building this truck. Bankrupt. Where's Dave Chappelle? I'm broke. Bankrupted me to build this truck. But I think it's going to be worth it. I think it's going to be cool. It's 3/4 ton, 4x4 with a plow. Super awesome. It's going to work great. And like I said, it's a truck that you don't see around. And hopefully it'll last a long time. It better last a long time. It better last forever at this rate. But I kind of wanted to do it. Sentimental attachment to it for whatever reason. Because I got it from my buddy. And then I let it sit out here for 10 years staring at it. And yikes. So anyways, the next build is not going to be... Next couple builds aren't going to be anywhere at this level. Well, back up. They're going to cost a decent ton of money because I'm going to buy some parts for them too, but like I can't get out of control on them like this truck did. And I know, I can't keep up with the big dogs like Derek from Vice Grip or DD Speed Shop. Like those guys have a lot of views, a lot of subscribers, and sell a lot of merchandise is the big thing. But they got money coming in to be able to fund those projects. I can't just dump $12,000 into a truck that's worth $6,000. I can't do that forever. This one, special case, like I said, I wanted to do it. I still think it's cool. I think a lot of you were like, why does it look like junk on the outside? I'm like, well, it is what it is. So I wanted was junk. I wanted to keep the originality of the truck. If you go look at some of these like Ford crew cabs and stuff that are getting dragged out of the Pacific Northwest, their original paint, original damage, like, dings and dents and scrapes and stuff. And they're bringing all the money. And those trucks aren't restored underneath. Those are like trucks that people out there pay $2,000, $3,000 for from an old man at the farm, and then turn around and put new tires on them and clean them up, shine them up, put the Vice Grip clear coat on them, and then they want $30,000 for them. And they're not brand new underneath like this truck is. I mean, this truck is all brand new underneath. It just looks rough on the outside. So there you go. Bottom line, spent way too much money on this truck. Guess what? Worth it. Awesome. I don't recommend everybody do it, but if you got nothing better to do with your money, build old junk like this. At least you'll have fun doing it. At least it'll look cool. And you can never get it tuned right. Maybe you can use it. Life lessons. So thanks for watching. I gotta figure out something to do for free today because I got no money left. We'll see you next time. Bam. Where's my hand? There it is. Here. Sitting in my expensive truck. I might as well sell my house and live in it now. Here at the Quick Speed Shop.